here we go. A main number 2 underway. A little bit of a rough start. These guys trying to apply the pressure early on Tebow. Up over the Tekin tabletop for the first time. It's pretty close to the last order. Oh, careful, there you go. Good job, guys, working together. Roberts, all sorts of pressure on Cavalieri right now. That's for third. We got Tebow being chased down by Mayfield. This is how we pretty much finished the last one. It's Tebow, Mayfield, Cavalieri, Hartson, Lutz, Roberts, Truey, Fellas, King, and Blair. That is how we're shaping up right now. Mayfield all over these guys. 10 minutes, 10-minute race. Just 1 minute in. If Tebow wins it, he gets it. Oh, Mayfield and Tebow get together a little bit. Everybody else had to check up behind and make sure they didn't crash. And now Mayfield becomes the hunted with Cavalieri and Hartson. Those are all 3 team members right there. And then it's going to be Lutz, Truey, Roberts, King, Fellas, and Blair. These guys pretty darn clean so far this weekend. Any little mishaps, they've been waiting. Tebow out in front, Mayfield in second. Cavalieri still third, Hartson still fourth, being pressured by Lutz in that Durango in that 5th spot. Then we got Truey, King, Roberts, Blair, and now Fellas. So 2.5 in, 2.5 minutes in, 7.5 minutes left to go. Tebow trying to do what he did in the first one. It got interesting at the end. Mayfield not too far behind over that big, long double in the back. Down the straightaway. That's Cavalieri in third. That's Ryan Lutz in fourth. Now that's Truey right there in the 5th spot. And then Cody King, then Hartson, Roberts, Blair, and Jeremy all sliding through that first corner. Doing a great job out there. Pretty much the whole field here, except Jeremy. Professional drivers. There is Jared Tebow. He's got about 2.5 over Ryan. Mayfield's got about 2 over Cavalieri. Then they got about 1 over Lutz. And then at 3 seconds is Truey, and then those guys all about a second in the part in the back of the field right there. Tebow now to about a straightaway lead over Ryan Mayfield. 25.4, 25.6. Cavalieri at 27.1. Lutz with a 26.2. Truey at 25. King at 26. Roberts with a 26. Fells at 26. So everybody putting in some pretty good laps here. Pretty consistent all weekend with qualifying. 25, 26-second laps for your pros here. Tebow comes around with another 25.7. Mayfield with a 26.0. So 4 down, 6 left to go. The blue, red, and white. Kyosho right in the middle of the track. Going to be putting a lap on Austin here. He is your leader. The blue associated Buggy just going in the dip and up over that west side double. He is your second place guy. That's Ryan Mayfield. Looks like Ryan Lutz up to third now. Cavalieri will drop back, and then Truey's right there. So your top 5 got a little bit of a lead over the rest of the field. Now it's Cody King being chased down by Roberts and Fellas. Remember, you guys see these guys coming up behind you. Just give them a little bit of room. That's all they need. These guys all know how to do it. There is your leader. That's Jared Tebow trying to just go 2 for 2 and sit out the last one. Mayfield working it. Both them exact same lap times, 26 seconds. Here comes Lutz. And then Cav and Truey having a good battle right there. That's for 4th and 5th. King not too far away. Then Jeremy Fellas, Jesse Roberts, and Stephen Hartson. Still just a straightaway lead now for Jared Tebow. We got about 4:45 left to go. Mayfield about 4/10 quicker right there on that lap. We'll see if he can keep it up, close this gap down a little. Tebow with a 25.6. Mayfield a 26.5, so basically nothing changed between those two laps. Cavalieri up to 3rd, Lutz 4th, Truey 5th, King in 6th. Then it's Fellas, Hartz, and Roberts, and Austin Blair. Jared Tebow and Ryan Mayfield have been catching up to this battle for basically 4th through 8th. Tebow comes around to the 26.1, Mayfield with a 26.5. The gap right there, just 5 seconds. Then it's way, way back to Lutz and Ryan Cavalieri. Cody King, Mike Truey, Jeremy Fellas, Hartson, and Roberts all right there for the rest of the field. A lot of spots up for grabs here with 3 minutes left to go. A lot of spots up for grabs. Jared Tebow has been flawless this race. So has Mayfield for the most part. Just a little bit of separation between those two drivers. Looks like Lutz got a little bit of a head of Cavalieri. Oh, Cody went to the inside, instead found the pipe. Two and a half minutes left to go. Just 2.5 minutes left to go. There is your leader. Somebody went out of the park. That was Cavalieri. He's going to lose a bunch of spots. Now here comes Tebow. Starting to work through traffic. We got 2 minutes left to go. 8 down, 2 minutes left to go. This is where it could get a little tricky. These guys all know what they're doing. Watch the hump there, guys. We got spectators. Don't do anything funny. Tebow picking his way through. That's Roberts and Cavalieri in front of him. Then Mayfield's going to be coming up to Cody King with 1.5 minutes left to go. Oh, Roberts finds a pipe. Tebow gets on top there, but man, that was real lucky. That will close the gap a little tiny bit with 1:25 minutes left to go. It's Tebow, Mayfield, Lutz, Truey, Fellas, Hartson, Cavalieri, King, Roberts, and Blair. That is your order. Tebow now with just a 3.2 second lead over Mayfield on the west end of the track, going over that big double, over my hump and down the straightaway. A couple lap cars in between each of our top two right now. 45 seconds left to go. Mayfield's close it to 2.7, now a little tighter through that chicane. Now 2 lap cars in between our drivers. 30 seconds. Fellas, Hartson, and Austin, that's going to be Tebow behind you shortly. You guys might sneak out. Oh, no, Tebow into the pipe. Oh, Mayfield's going to get around the last lap. That is time. Oh, so we are going to have to go to the third. Oh, dude. That was crazy. Keep going, you guys. Loop is still live for most of you. Oh, man, brutal. Oh, Lutz and Truey working it out. Here comes fellas, Hartson and Blair. Man alive. So it was Ryan Mayfield taking on the last lap. Jared Tebow gets second, Ryan Lutz third, Mike Truey fourth, Jeremy Fellas fifth, Hartson in sixth, Cav seventh, King eighth, Austin Blair ninth, and Jesse Roberts was out early. So we are going to have a third A main to decide it all.